All right, everyone. So I'm sure we've all been there at some point, staring at Zillow late at night, and you're wondering, should I buy a place or is it better to just keep renting?
Yeah, for sure. It's like one of those classic dilemmas, right?
Totally. And it's a decision with some pretty big implications,
Yeah,
both financially and just in terms of your lifestyle.
absolutely.
So to help us all untangle this mess, we're going to be taking a deep dive today into a guide called Should You Buy or Rent? A guide to making the smart choice.
Okay, that's good.
And uh, and to make things a little bit more real, we'll be following along with the stories of Tom and Priya, these two people who decided to go down different paths.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Priya, she dove headfirst into home ownership.
Okay.
She found this fixer-upper, a real diamond in the rough. She was all about building equity,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds amazing, like the classic American dream. But what are some of the things that maybe Priya didn't consider right off the bat?
Right. Well, first off, you got to understand what equity actually is. So basically, it's the value of your ownership stake in the property.
Right.
It's like you calculate it by subtracting any outstanding loans from the market value of your home. So, you take what your house is worth and you subtract what you still owe on the mortgage, and that difference is your equity.
Got it.
And ideally, as you keep making those mortgage payments and the value of your property goes up, your equity is going to grow too.
Oh, so it's kind of like a forced savings plan in a way.
Exactly. And that's the appeal for a lot of people. You build up this equity, and then later on, you can tap into it for things like renovations or even to buy a new property.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So Priya's thinking long term, but fast forward 5 years down the road and things aren't exactly picture perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, turns out owning a home isn't always smooth sailing. Property values did go up, but she got hit with a bunch of unexpected repairs.
oh yeah, that's the reality of homeownership sometimes.
Right.
Everyone focuses on that mortgage payment, but there's this whole other world of expenses that can sneak up on you. Oh, well, there's property taxes for one thing, and those can really vary depending on where you live, and they can change from year to year too.
Mhm.
And then you've got homeowners insurance, which is another thing that can fluctuate like crazy, depending on your coverage and your location. And then you've got the never-ending saga of maintenance costs.
Yeah, like leaky roofs and all that fun stuff.
Exactly. A leaky roof or a busted HVAC system, those can really set you back financially.
Oh, for sure.
And if Priya bought into a community with an HOA, then there are those fees to consider as well.
Right, right. HOA fees. Okay, so homeownership definitely comes with some hidden costs.
It does.
So let's switch gears for a second and see what Tom's been up to. He decided to stick with renting and take the money he would have used for a down payment and invest it instead.
Interesting.
Yeah, Tom's playing the long game here. What kind of investment strategy was he using?
Well, it sounds like he was pretty smart about it. He diversified his portfolio.
Okay.
So he put some of his money into these low-risk index funds, which basically track the performance of the broader market. Uh-huh.
And then to get a little bit of exposure to real estate without the hassle of owning property directly,
Mhm.
he allocated some funds to REITs, which are real estate investment trusts.
REITs.
Yeah, they own and manage income-producing real estate. So it's a way to kind of dip your toes into the property market without all the headaches.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then to round things out, he put a small percentage of his money into individual stocks, hoping for some higher potential growth.
Got it. So a mix of low-risk and higher-risk investments.
Exactly.
Now, I'm curious, how did Tom's returns compare to the appreciation that Priya saw on her property?
That's where things get interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because while Priya's home did increase in value, it wasn't a guaranteed outcome.
Yeah.
What if the market had cooled down, or even worse, what if her area experienced a downturn?
Ouch.
Yeah, her equity wouldn't have grown as much, or it might have even decreased.
Right.
But Tom, by diversifying his investments, he was able to mitigate some of that risk.
His index funds gave him some steady growth. The REITs were generating dividends, and while those individual stocks were riskier, they had the potential to bring in some really solid returns.
So 5 years later, and it seems like Tom's investment strategy is really paying off.
Yeah, sounds like it.
He's got this financial flexibility. He was even able to move across the country for a new job opportunity,
Yeah.
something that wouldn't have been easy for Priya with her being tied down to her property.
Exactly. That's one of the big perks of renting. That flexibility. You're not tied to a specific location. You can avoid those major repair costs, and you're free to pursue different opportunities.
So for someone who's listening to this and trying to figure out which path is right for them, what's the takeaway here?
It's really all about aligning your housing choice with your individual circumstances,
Yeah.
your financial situation, your lifestyle, your long-term goals.
Mhm.
If stability is super important to you, if you want to put down roots and customize your living space, then maybe homeownership is the way to go, even with all the challenges.
Right.
But if you value flexibility, if you're looking for potential investment growth and you're not really into the whole property management thing, then renting might be a better fit.
So for everyone listening out there, put yourself in Tom or Priya's shoes. What are the factors that would really sway your decision one way or the other?
Hmm.
Think about your risk appetite, your career goals, your lifestyle preferences. Let those be your guide.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And to all of our listeners out there, keep those Zillow tabs open and happy house humping.
Good luck.
All right, we'll catch you all on the next deep dive.
See ya.